right, we welcome you into this Wednesday edition of the Hometown Sports Huddle on WDBJ 7 Plus. Dave Walls, Mitch Carr, and we got a good deal to talk about tonight about what's already happened today, what is coming up in the next few days. But Mitch, we want to start with kind of where we left off yesterday a little bit, talking about the NBA and where we are right now. First, looking forward to tonight, and me being a fallen Sixers fan.
Are you looking forward to it?
Well, I mean. I don't know who said it, but one of the worst things is in sports is you get hope, and you go, maybe this is the year. No, Joel Embiid out for the Sixers tonight in Game 2 with multiple injuries, and frankly, I think after the Boston series, we kind of assumed that maybe this was the case, because we saw him limping around at the end of that Boston Celtics game. And, it just come back to bite him
It's
again.
just such a Joel Embiid headline. Embiid to miss Game 2 with multiple injuries.
Yeah.
You don't even have to list what they are.
No.
The man had appendicitis. He's the unhealthiest, unluckiest athlete that I've ever seen. But, I said, hey, give him Game 1. Game 7 was tough. They, play Game 7 on the road. They get 1 day off. They play Game 1 on the road. They'll probably come back and give him a good give a better effort in Game 2. No, Joel Embiid is hurt, so we'll see what this does. I'm guessing it doesn't bode well because they already got their butts kicked.
Yeah, what it's going to end up meaning is Maxi's going to have to score 40, and somehow the defense is still going to have to shut down, Karl Anthony Towns and everyone else because they had no answer for Brunson in Game 1.
Well, it's all smaller now.
Yeah,
you got Maxey, Edgecombe, and Paul George.
Yeah,
and that's what you got to rely on, and that's not bad. It's just not. It's not great. I think it's a good thing that Karl Anthony Towns isn't like this Shaq-like banger in the post or anything like that because otherwise you can't match up.
The other big headline coming out of the NBA today is Luka Doncic quoted as saying he is frustrated because he doesn't have a clear timeline of when he's coming back from injury. And for a Lakers team that lost by, was it 18 last night, that is bad news for the Lakers. As you mentioned, as we mentioned yesterday, I can't necessarily count out a LeBron team, but they kind of showed themselves only scoring 90 points last night. That they definitely need someone of Luka's,
Well, LeBron did what he does. He had 27 points. He had 6 assists. He had 4 rebounds. He was the floor general. Austin Reeves, 8 points. That ain't going to get it done. Also, only 36 minutes for him, 36 minutes for LeBron. They're overmatched in this series. Almost with Luka, you would say they're a little bit overmatched. They are a lot overmatched without Luka.
It's absolutely true. And then on the other side, also the Pistons winning by 10 last night. The Pistons jump out to a 16-point lead in the first quarter, and it's literally cruise control from there. Maybe.
Welcome back, Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
He was almost a complete non-factor in that Toronto series. Last night, I think, let me look at the numbers again. I thought he had like a triple-double.
Yeah, he came close to it. 11 points, 12 rebounds, and then he had just 4 assists. I thought he had.
So, no. But 11 points and 12 rebounds.
But, 12 rebounds.
He was much more involved, and you could see it. I did catch more than a few pick and rolls between him and Cade Cunningham. And that's really what their offense boils down to, is getting Jalen Duren a free roll, getting Cade Cunningham open to create some offense. Hey, shout out to Duncan Robinson. He's more like the Heat Duncan Robinson than the Pistons Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
He had 5 3-pointers last night. I mean, that was impressive. So, everything's right back on schedule for the Pistons, despite what looked like for 5 games and a half. It was going to be an upset, an 8-1 upset. Now it looks like they're probably going to make the conference finals, if I had to say.
All right, moving forward to tonight's games. We already talked about Philly and New York. Game 2 of that up in New York. And then the late game tonight, Minnesota against the Spurs. I tell you what, there's going to be some late bedtimes for NBA fans watching that one because
I'm just thankful this is a 9:30 game.
Oh, yeah.
And not like a 10:30 game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a feeling when LA is hosting in this round, when they're hosting Oklahoma City, those games are going to start at 10 or 10:30. And I'm not watching the end of those games. I can't. I got to wake up at 6:15 a.m. get my kid to school. It ain't happening.
You have kids. You know me. It'll be 2 a.m. You could text me, and I'm still going to be glued to it. Minnesota.
But I will stay up. I will stay up a little bit later for Minnesota.
Yeah, but if they come out of that, coming home with a 2-0 lead, that really, your eyes start getting a little bit bigger in that one.
Do you think Anthony Edwards is going to play more than the 25 minutes he played the other night?
No, I think they stay the course because if he comes back and they lose tonight, all right, it's 1-1 going home. You've got him on, his second night of okay minutes, 25 minutes in the last game. Keep him to that tonight, see what happens. Again, if you lose, then maybe you crank him up a little bit more in game 3, but I don't think you roll the dice with pushing it too soon.
I think you're right. I think when they get a win on the road in game 1, they got the one they needed. Now, they might play him, 8 to 10 minutes in the first quarter and see if they're competitive. And if they fall behind, okay, let's put him on the shelf. Let's make sure he's good for game 3. Let's make sure we get both 3 and 4, and we come back to San Antonio up 3-1 with a chance to win the series.
I agree. And I'm interested to see how Wembanyama rebounds, no pun intended, tonight after that game 1 loss at home. If I'm guarding him tonight, it's going to be a long night because he's going to want to put up 30 and 40 on you, and he's really going to want to prove that game 1 was a fluke.
Well, yeah, he was pretty bad offensively.
Yeah.
And so I'm really interested to see. He is the type of guy that is going to come out and say, I played like crap last time out, and that ain't happening again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I expect him to have, I think he had a triple-double the other night, even though it wasn't a very good game.
Right.
I expect him to come out and have, 25, 20, and 10, and then 10 blocks.
Wow.
Tonight, and just be a dominant force. And then we'll see what happens in game 3. Here's the other thing, though. He had a bad offensive performance, and who's always had a good defensive performance? The guy on the other side, Rudy Gobert, his fellow Frenchman, fellow 7'2" Frenchman. I think Wemby's like 7'6", but there's a big brother, little brother thing going on with those two.
I love the other night when you said, here we have 2 Frenchmen battling in the NBA playoffs. Welcome to 2026.
Yeah, it is the global game.
It is a global game.
And that's what we're seeing here.
All right, we're going to I know Mitch is a little tight on time, but I appreciate you stopping by. When we come back, Roanoke College lacrosse had their hands full today. Well, their opponents really had their hands full of Roanoke College. Let's be honest, that's the way it went tonight. We're going to show you some highlights of their win and talk about what's next for them. Also, Virginia Tech softball, what we're watching, what the Hokies are watching for tonight as they get ready to enter the ACC tournament. It's coming back on the Huddle in 2 minutes. Stay with us. All right, we welcome you back to the Hometown Sports Huddle, everybody. Dave Walls here. Mitch Carr has gone off to already start working on WDBJ News at 11 o'clock. Let's talk a little bit about what we've already seen today, maybe a little bit about what is still to come. First of all, some days you're going to notice on here I don't have the tie on, and that's because I've been running around or going to different places. Today was certainly one of those days as the Roanoke College lacrosse team made their NCAA tournament debut today at home at Kerr Stadium, and a very interesting setup because Roanoke was the very last team to get an at-large bid in this tournament after losing in the ODAC semifinals, tight 2-point loss to Lynchburg. The players, as we mentioned earlier in the week, were not sure if they were going to get into this tournament. They get the very last bid, and then they have to take on the champions from the Atlantic East. I'm going to botch it. I know it's Atlantic Conference. I'll say Atlantic East, although I'm not sure if that's right. Marymount University from Northern Virginia. But Roanoke really were the ones today who looked just honestly pretty darn dominant as they're able to take care of business and take care of it in a pretty good fashion here. Let's go ahead and show you some of the highlights here. Roanoke College, again, over at Kerr Stadium today. Looking very, very strong right off the get. And most of this is from the first half. Look at this tic-tac-toe pass that goes over to Julian Cameraman, who finishes it off. The ODAC first-teamer had 5 goals, 2 assists, but none more impressive than this. A diving crease shot here. Again, the goaltender didn't even know what happened. He goes, where in the world did that ball go? Here it was again in slow motion as he dives through, stays out of the crease the whole time, which is very, very impressive. 5 goals, 2 assists for him. Roanoke goes on to win this one by a final score of 22-6. They advance into round number 2, where they're going to have to go on the road, where they will be playing over at Salisbury. And if you follow Division III lacrosse, you know that Roanoke has got their hands full because Salisbury is usually in the mix for the national championship every year, down to the Final Four multiple times. But congratulations to Roanoke and Coach Grant Zimmerman, the first-year coach. Very dominant win and proved that they did belong in this tournament. And really, that score, the game was not even that close. 15-2 at the half, or 15-2. Yeah, Marymount did get a late goal in there. So, but 15-2 at the half. I mean, this thing was all Roanoke today. Zimmerman and the other seniors and leaders on the team did not even play in the second half. So they could have run up the score past 30 if they had wanted to. But it's smart to let them rest up. And, it's been a busy couple of days for them now, prepare for a weekend trip to Salisbury. All right, other games we are watching, in addition to the Roanoke Maroons, Lynchburg Lacrosse will be hosting on Saturday afternoon. They'll be hosting Grove City. Now, Grove City played Ohio Wesleyan today, got the win there, so they now advance to the pod that's being held in Lynchburg on Saturday. Washington and Lee Lacrosse, the ODAC champions, are going to head to the campus of Christopher Newport University. CNU's a top 10 team. They're hosting the action this weekend, and WNL will be playing there Saturday at 3 or 3:30. There was some confusion over what the start time was there, but that game, again, will be held over at CNU this Saturday afternoon, either at 3 or 3:30. And they're taking on another tough team in Gettysburg, who is a perennial top 10, top 15 team every year. So certainly a tough assignment for them. 2 tough teams going at it. It should be one heck of a ball game. All right, as we get into the stuff we are watching for tonight, first of all, over on WZBJ right now is the Salem Ridgecks. They are playing the Delmarva Shorebirds. So if you are looking for minor league baseball, you can catch it over there. In fact, you can catch the Ridgecks here the next 3 nights on WZBJ 24. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. So minor league baseball tonight, again, you've got the Ridgecks and you've got the Hill City Howlers, who got a walk-off win last night over the who was there playing? Oh, Fredericksburg. That's right. The Fredericksburg Nationals, first place in the Carolina League. They were able to get that done. So both Hill City and Salem picking up big wins last night. And both of them very much needed. So, here you go. Let me just go ahead and show you Here's the list of games we've got for you on the Z right now. Of course, right now, Delmarva and Salem on WZBJ 24. And then the next 2 nights, we've got that for you as well. Both those games are at 6:30. And you can see we've also got games later in the month back at home, the 26th and 27th against Hickory, June 9th and 10th against Fayetteville. So if you can't make it out to the ballpark, you've got us on WZBJ 24 for live Salem Ridgecks baseball. All right, one of the other things we were talking about tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll look forward to more at 11, was Virginia Tech softball coach Pete DeMoore's team gets the first round bye. They will be playing tomorrow. Now, the tournament being hosted in Salem, but their potential opponent's either going to be Pitt or it's going to be UVA, and those two are playing tonight, so we'll be having highlights from that one tonight at 11 o'clock. DeMoore has been very complimentary of the seniors on his team, saying they've not only led the way on the field, but have really helped develop the younger players on this team, and it has shown up and down the lineup. They've been extremely dominant. Also, we are watching Virginia Tech baseball tonight. Now, that's an interesting case because the Hokies baseball team has been picking up a lot of momentum here over the last month, running off a nice winning streak, winning at one point 7 out of their last 8. But they're going into Liberty tonight. They're underway now in Lynchburg. We'll have to actually look up that score here in just a moment. But Virginia Tech and Liberty have played at least once this year, and when that happened, Liberty really took care of them handily. I think the last game was 11-4. Their big bats, Nick Barone, has been a monster on offense for the Liberty baseball offense, with a couple big home runs. We are pulling up the stats here. I wish I could pull up a live stream, but I am not allowed to stream that to you. Let's see if I can get that done. Let's see here. Follow live. Let's see here. Oh, boy. I really would love to give you guys a live update on what is happening because that game started at 6 o'clock. But anyways, while we do that, but a game that for Virginia Tech, is very important. And as we look, Virginia Tech is out to a 3-0 lead early here, bottom of the third inning. Let's see how they did it. Henry Cook with a sacrifice ground out in the first inning, and then when he comes back up in the third, hits a home run, 2-run home run to left field, scoring Ethan Gibson. So Virginia Tech right now 3-0. Looking at the box score, Liberty hasn't gotten a hit yet. They do have a runner on first base right now with no outs. And let me see here. Oh, they just got an out there. Okay, so Liberty with no hits. Virginia Tech 3 runs on 5 hits, and they've left 2 on base. Again, Henry Cook with a sacrifice RBI, then a 2-run home run in the third inning to get us to where we are. All right, so we're watching baseball and softball tonight, and of course, we're going to keep our eyes on lacrosse coming up over the weekend. We hope you will stick with us here on the Hometown Sports Huddle. Mitch Carr is going to be back with you for the next 2 nights of action here on WZBJ+. All right, that's going to do it for us. I'm Dave Walls. Thanks again for watching. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.